It's Not Another Buffalo Podcast, hosted by three of the most underqualified sports personalities this side of the canal. With John.
All you people out there who are like, these idiots don't know anything. First of all, you're right. And second of all,
Pat.
I'm just a dad talking in a closet, but I'm just saying.
And Brando.
We have this trust built on whatever it is, like Bibles and gold bricks and whatever Brandon Bean's drinking over there.
all right, welcome back to Not Another Buffalo Podcast. I'm John. I'm here with the boys, Pat and Brando, and our special guest, John of the KC Bills Backers. You can find us on all platforms at Not Buff Podcast. You can find John on Twitter, the ghost of Twitter, at KC Bills Backers. Is that the at?
I think that's it. I think it's at Bills Backers KC. And I'm also on Blue Sky now. I've joined both.
I also joined that as well. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm excited to get away from Twitter if that's a possibility.
Did they call it Blue Sky because it's like Twitter was a blue bird and birds fly in the sky? It's like this is the ideas that we're coming up with.
I also think it's because the X logo is now like X. It's a black square. It's a dark pit. And then there's a nice blue sky. And everyone is flocking to that, I hope. But already my feed looks a lot more Bills oriented and a lot less Elon Musk's tweets right at the top all the time. So that's a plus to start. But how we feeling overall? A couple days removed, going into bye week strong.
Fantastic, man. Like absolutely great. Yesterday was one of the best days I've had in this city in 7 years or 10 years that I've lived here. What 12 years? I don't even know. When did we graduate high school? 10 years ago.
Like 16 years ago, something.
Yeah. Super awesome. Very, very exciting. I felt like waking up, late night after the game, coming home, traffic's terrible in a game like that. Not a problem because I am happy to be there. But the, that early alarm, I'm looking forward to listening to sports talk all day, talking about it with my students, talking with you guys, looking at the discourse back and forth online. What are the national pundits saying? So it was really easy to get out of bed and just start consuming this tidal wave of content.
Yeah. Pat, what about you? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I mean, it was definitely, exciting to, I guess be up a little bit later, especially with a little kid, and forced him to stay up, and it was worth it definitely. So it was a good time.
Yeah. Pat, you were definitely playing RuneScape still when we started the show, weren't you?
Well, I was just trying to X out of. I had to make sure that my account was exited correctly. I didn't want to have any unnecessary resources lost. But, yes.
Oh my God, Pat, I love it. Well, John, let's. What's the vibe in Kansas City like right now? Do you consider yourself a gloater? Like, what was it like at the office or where you work? You're a teacher, right?
I am a teacher. I am not really a gloater, just because historically this hasn't always worked out in the playoffs.
Right.
But I had one particular coworker who just gave me a really hard time last week, and he gave me a hard time last year and the year before and the year before. So I finally was sick of taking the high road, and I definitely came in and rubbed it in his face. And it was crazy to hear him talk to me because he is full blown. Deion Dawkins was holding on that last Josh Allen run. That is his. He will go to the grave with this. And I rewatched it like 40 times. I'm like, no, there's no hold there. None that's going to be called at the NFL level.
Also, Jawan Taylor's holding on every play. So
yeah.
And false starting and taking 2 steps back before the snap even.
Which Deion did not do one time. There was no extra half a second step. If the Chiefs fans want to complain about anything, it's the Mac Hollins rub play on the play before.
I don't think Amari Cooper caught that deep pass either, that second one.
Yes, he did. Okay.
Yes, he did.
Can we talk about this for a second?
I mean, I was happy. I was like, they're not snapping the ball super quick. They must be confident, but
there are moments in the stadium. I talk about the Micah Hyde catch, right? I was in the end zone going away. The play was, and it was like, whoa, cool. Like that was awesome to see Micah Hyde make that play. The Amari Cooper catch was directly in front of me. Like I'm in the section where he catches the ball. And I remember seeing Allen getting rocked and the ball went so high in the air. I'm like, where is he going with this? And it was like Cooper's covered and Cooper breaks to the sideline and it just drops in his hands and he catches it and gets the toes in. And I was so astonished by that play. I couldn't tell if he got his feet in or not. And they didn't show the replay in the stadium very much, but I was like, oh my gosh, I just saw a Hall of Fame throw. I just saw something that was unbelievable to my eyes right in front of me. I was so impressed. It was one of the coolest things ever. And then they did the replay and it was a catch, but
the replay of that's really cool to watch is the sky cam behind Josh.
Yes.
Because when he's getting blown backwards, I swear he still has a fingertip on the ball while his body is concave like this because he's getting hit in the chest. And somehow that ball goes like Russell Wilson over the moon into Amari Cooper's hands. It was crazy.
It was beautiful.
And that's not even the best play from him that night, right?
No.
Like we got multiple of those.
And I'm going to tease this later in the show. I have some of Josh Allen's top plays of his career. We have a top 5 coming up. And I was like, I wanted to use this play. And I'm watching literally hours of YouTube videos because Allen has so many highlight plays. And I'm like, I can't put this in here. I can't even put it in as an honorable mention, but I'm going to talk about this like it was the coolest thing I've ever seen, like a kid on Christmas, whatever. It was awesome.
Yeah, just every week it's a different play. But also, before we get too far into stuff, I want to thank our sponsor, Small City Realty. If you're looking to buy, sell, or manage property in Western New York, you can call our guy, Zach Corzilis, at 585-409-1088. For example, he's got a house in Batavia right now. It's just had a price drop. It's now $159,000. You can find it at 228 Liberty Street, Batavia, New York. I'll put the Zillow link in the show notes or the YouTube description, wherever you want to find it. And check it out. Zach Corzilis, 585-409-1088. And that's Zachary at smallcityrealestate.com if you want to reach him by email.
Gentlemen, to circle back to Cooper here for a second, he only had 2 catches on the day, right? Super important catches. But one of the, I talked to my students about this. I'm like, what do you guys want to hear us talk about? What's a good conversation about the Bills? And one of the students was like, maybe you talk about the impact of Hopkins for the Chiefs, Cooper for the Bills, who's going to be more important throughout the whole season, who was more important on Sunday. Even in only 2 catches, Cooper's impact was resounding. And, as we go through the rest of the season, I just kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on that. Do you think Hopkins, in Kansas City, maybe you see this a little bit more, is Hopkins going to change the Chiefs offense, or we've already seen what Cooper can do for the Bills, and it's super impactful. Which one do you think is going to have the bigger impact on their team moving forward here?
Oh yeah, I can start. I feel like as the KC guy here, locally, I think the vibe with Hopkins was that people wanted Amari Cooper more than Hopkins. I know personally some of my Chiefs fan friends, when we got Cooper, were upset, and then they got Hopkins, and they're like, okay, consolation prize. I know that last week when Hopkins, I think it was last week when he scored 2 touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah,
they started to be like, oh, hey, maybe we've got something here. And then, of course, this week he had to lose to a second time to the Buffalo Bills, which sorry about you.
That's fun fact. It's fun fact.
Yeah, well, he was on the sidelines mostly for the Titans game because they were bubble wrapping him to trade him.
I just think locally, I think people understand that I feel like most Chiefs fans even will admit that Cooper's a superior receiver to Hopkins. Hopkins is past his prime. Cooper's still kind of got a little juice in the tank.
Yeah, that's probably true. And the weird part about this argument, the way that I'm thinking about it too, is I think Cooper's the bigger player, but I think the Chiefs would be more screwed without Hopkins than the Bills would be without Cooper, if that makes sense. Like once Rashee Rice went down, their offense, especially since you don't have Travis Kelce being dominant this year, it's like it was nothing. It was nothing. And that's why it scared me a little bit when they got DeAndre Hopkins. I was like, okay, well, now if they need 2 scores late in the fourth quarter, they've got horses to do it. So again, it didn't come to fruition in this game, which was great for us. But yeah, I think that the Chiefs would be more screwed without DeAndre Hopkins than we would be without Cooper.
No, I think I have to rebut you, John, because did you watch the Houston Bills game? It was tough.
It was tough. It was tough.
Yeah.
But that's with an injured Shakir though, too. I feel like.
But the ripple of Cooper, right? Adding another good player here makes them all elevate that much closer to greatness. Whereas, without Hopkins, they were still winning. They were running the ball a ton, and they do have Kelce, but we did lose without that extra receiver, whereas the Chiefs did not. So that's why I kind of thought Cooper really has elevated our team and will continue to make everybody around him better. Whereas Hopkins is just like, he's out there and their game plans look the same still. I think with Hopkins, they still run the ball a ton. They didn't really game plan Kelce into it, but I think having Cooper, everybody else has gotten better. Whereas with Hopkins, they've kind of stayed status quo. So that's kind of why I thought Cooper was the much more impactful piece.
Yeah, I've got some trivia for you guys if you want to get into it. Speaking of Travis Kelce not getting worked into the game plan for this one. First of all, I want you to guess the number and then we'll guess the names. How many receivers between both teams had more receiving yards than Travis Kelce in this game?
8.
Higher.
Crickets. Let's go
Well, I mean, I'm
going to go 11.
It's 11. 11 is the correct answer.
Nice.
And he had two receivers tied with him at his total of 8 yards. Can you name the 11 receivers that had more receiving yards than Travis Kelce in this game? Should be easy, right? We just watched this game 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper.
All right, there's one.
Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
Khalil Shakir.
Matt Collins.
I'm marking these off as we go.
Dawson Knox.
Dalton Knox.
Dalton Knox, at least.
Yeah. All right.
James Cook, probably.
Not James Cook.
No.
Ty Johnson.
Nope.
Xavier Worthy.
There you go. Got one more bill left to go.
Noah Gray.
Noah Gray.
The other tight end on Kansas City.
Yep.
Oh,
Brandon,
I can't think of
I know these guys super well because I'm always betting on the Chiefs.
There's oh gosh, what is his name? He just Davidson or something. He just had caught his first. He had just caught his
Zach
first.
Davidson.
Zach Davidson did not have more than 8 yards. He was close. He had one reception for 5 yards, I think. All right. I want to say.
Quentin Morris.
The Chiefs. I don't think Quentin Morris did. Justin Watson.
Justin Watson is the other Chiefs tight end that Brandon was trying to think of.
Kareem Hunt.
Nope.
No.
All right, you have one more bill left. One more bill. Brandon, it's your guy. Come on.
Samuel.
Oh, Kurt.
Yes.
Yeah. Kurt had a big game. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If he goes
I think we're
60,
so used not to having him in any post game discussion. I thought it was
freaking Easter the way that Curtis Samuel resurrected in that game.
I think Curtis Samuel needs about 70 yards a game throughout the rest of the year for me to cash that bet.
To make up. Yeah. All right, you guys have 3 Chiefs receivers left. 3 pass catchers.
Hardman.
Left. Nicole Hardman.
Juju.
Correct.
Juju was tied at 8 yards.
You'd think I'd know the Chiefs receivers.
Did we say Hopkins? Did you already count him?
Nobody said Hopkins. So and then you got one more. This is going to be the hard one. I don't think I would have gotten this one.
What was this, like P. Ryan maybe?
P. Ryan was tied. He was tied at 8 yards. Good guess.
Well,
He didn't do anything.
Carson Steele.
No, not Carson Steele.
Yo, that's what I was. I've talked about him a few times on the show. Carson Steele. I'm low-key a fan.
It's got to be someone really weird.
It is. I don't even remember what play this was.
Peyton Hendershot.
Yes. Peyton Hendershot is the last name on the list.
I looked that up. I'm not going to lie.
You're right. Somebody had to cheat. We got to keep this under an hour and 15 minutes.
That's crazy. Well, sucks to suck, Travis. Here's your golf clap for your 8 yards.
Oh, man, that's so great. Well, I guess Taylor wasn't in the building to see it, huh? Right? I didn't see anything about it on the broadcast. I was refreshingly surprised. Right? Brandon, you would have saw that sneaker in a fridge or something like that.
She was right in front of me last time. They drove a big SUV all blacked out. She brought her own security. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, I bet. Well, I was going to say this might transition us very smoothly into our fill in the blank for the day if you guys are ready to do that.
Yes.
All right, we only have one today. Long episode. Figure we get one clip out of it. But people who did more on Sunday than Travis Kelce. Do you guys want to go clockwise here? Start with Pat, then do John, and then Brando, then me, and then we'll keep going until we run out.
Any chance I can go first in case you take the one that I have?
Okay, then I'm going second then.
Okay. People that did more than Travis Kelce on Sunday. Chick-fil-A workers.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't want to steal it. This one might be Pat's too, so I'm going to do a different one. The keyboard warriors in our comment section all the time did more on Sunday than Travis Kelce.
Yeah, they did. They're still working.
Yeah. All right, Pat.
The dude from The Big Lebowski.
Nice.
You guys watch that? Good movie.
The people who check your receipts at Costco.
Oh,
Brando.
Tap.
You're tapped? Come on,
I
man.
told you I got one.
You stole the one that everyone else had that was good and then just bounced.
Keep going.
I'm gonna say Pat's son, Luca, friend of the show / child of the show, did more on Sunday than Travis Kelce.
He was going nuts with the tummy time, man. You should have seen him.
That was a good impression. I've seen pictures. That was an accurate impression.
Let me see here. I have a Stoop Kid from Hey Arnold. I also have. Oh, I'm sorry, John.
Yeah, we still got more.
Yeah,
John.
I got some. I got some cuts here.
Nice.
Anybody who mowed their lawn or did leaves on Sunday?
That's true. That's true. I'm going to say me on my couch watching 7 hours of commercial-free football did more than Travis Kelce on Sunday.
I gotta get that red zone, man.
You have to.
You gotta, man.
Let's see here. Jerry Jones and Trey Lance, watching your team lose by 30 while not playing exerts more effort than watching your team lose a close game that you play in.
I got one after you go.
That's a pretty good one.
Good.
Anybody who played catch in the parking lots?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
caught more passes.
I'm going to say Drew Lock, who signs as a free agent to the Giants, waiting for his moment to play, and the Giants are now playing Danny DeVito.
Well, you keep saying Danny DeVito.
No, that makes sense. It's Danny DeVito.
What's his name?
Tommy
DeVito.
It would be crazy if his name was Danny DeVito and he like came out.
I think it'd be better not that his name was Danny DeVito, that the Jets actually started Danny DeVito at quarterback. That would be so much better. You'd sell so many more tickets if you roll out, 4'5" Danny DeVito in the Jets backfield. Like if you thought the first butt fumble was bad, like wait for this one. We got 2.0 coming in. I was going to say for this one, the people who did more on Sunday than Travis Kelce. Normally I would say Curtis Samuel, but he actually played pretty well this week. So
yeah, he did.
Wasn't able to use that one for this week, but
mail carriers prior to 2013 when they used to not deliver mail on Sunday.
That's true. I thought that was just like, I started seeing mail people down here in Nashville and I was like, is this a Nashville thing? But yeah. All right.
Yeah. Law changed in 2013. You guys didn't know you were going to learn something today, did you?
We did.
Learned something. People who did more on Sunday than Travis Kelce. Raiders tight end Harrison Bryant. Have you guys heard of him?
No.
Exactly. He actually had 2 receptions for 22 yards, which was more production than Travis Kelce had. So, Pat, you got any more?
No, I was trying to think of what's the other Raiders tight ends name?
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers? Yeah.
He had quite the
He's
game.
pretty cool.
I was trying to like on my feet think of like hairline jokes, but like
Brock Bowers barber.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Say, the Raiders owner is Barber.
Yeah.
Him, yeah. But all right, Brando, do you want to roll into your top 5 plays here from Josh Allen? We can debate and tell you why we think something else is top 5.
Yes, I will do that.
So you brought this to me initially in the group chat, and I was like, maybe we should save that for the bye week because it's just like, Josh Allen's top 5 plays. That sounds like an off-season conversation. But I get it because like this last play happened. We have to figure out where this fits into that discussion, right? And that was only something that I thought about after the game, to be honest with you. Like during it, it was awesome. But I didn't even like think of it. Oh, that's the best
I said
Josh
it while it was
Allen player.
happening. I said it while he's running. I'm like, we're sitting in the chairs, in our wheelchairs. We're like waiting for something to happen. People don't leave when it's a close game. They need this to see the clinch, right? They got to see the dagger before they decide to leave. And I'm like, everybody's hurt. Dawkins is out. Khalil Shakir takes the back shot. First of all, we should talk about the play before the 4th and 2, like. Iconic throw, right? Great throw over the middle on 3rd down, just reading the defense. Awesome. You guys should check out Dan Orlovsky's clip. He just did it. He puts on the VR headset and he does the Josh Allen view and he like shows what was happening. It was a great clip. You should check it out. Anyways. Cool. And then I'm like, you got to run him. Like just literally give him the ball every play until this clock hits 0. I'm like, we're going to see something here that happens. And I look at the guy next to me. I was like, As soon as he dropped back to pass, I was like, run! And he did it. I'm like, it's happening! It's happening! And I was like freaking out. Everybody was freaking out. So,
do you think it's crazy that Kansas City didn't even have a spy on him for that play?
Yes.
Like, everybody and their grandfather in that stadium knew where the ball was going on 4th and 2 and got to have it moment. And it's just great for us. Great for us.
But. And it's also cool. Sean McDermott clearly learned from his mistakes, finally, and went for it. And Spagnuolo's going to have to learn from this one, right? He's never going to not have a spy on Josh ever again, probably, right? So
probably.
So, fun fact about the spy. The reason that they used to be pretty successful with the spy was that they had Willie Gay, who they no longer have. He went to the Saints, but he was a freak athlete who could keep up with Josh Allen and the current, I forget the current linebacker who they've got now.
Like Nick Bolton
he's still
or something?
good, but he's not nearly as fast.
Yeah, Bolton. Maybe.
The other piece of film I saw, we won't get too technical with this, but it was a breakdown of the Chiefs spying the Bills, was they had a D lineman spy, which is the all-time Madden trick. If you ever are playing somebody on Madden, you spy one D lineman and they don't blitz, right? They follow the guy. Big time play. But the Bills O-line did such a good job of legally holding the spy in their block so they could not track Allen in the pocket. Osiris Torres, did I say that right?
Never, but it's all right.
For me.
Keep on.
Osiris
Torrance
had the game of his career against Chris Jones, and the whole O-line as a whole did a good job. So we're talking Mount Rushmore Josh Allen plays right now. And again, I went through hours and hours of YouTube videos to figure out what I wanted to do with this. And it was super impossible. So I have his top 5 plays, then I have 3 honorable mentions, and I could even put in 17 more, but I had a real hard time. So honorable mention, number 1, Josh Allen, 75-yard touchdown bomb to Robert Foster against the Jags in a collapsing pocket.
A monster hit.
Defenders are almost on his back. Babyface Josh, no beard. Robert Foster, who fell off the earth after he left the Bills, catches the ball coming down the sideline, runs into the end zone. Great moment. I believe the Bills went up 14-0 after that touchdown. Anyways, honorable mention number 2, Allen to Dawson Knox, touchdown in the perfect game. He quotes afterwards, "I didn't even mean to do it. I was trying to throw the ball out of bounds, and Dawson was just in the right spot at the right time. Running way out of bounds, throws it so high out." Allen gets a, was it Santonio Holmes that makes the touchdown in the Super Bowl for the Steelers where he gets the toe taps in?
Yep.
The final honorable mention, and I know you guys are going to be mad at me for saying this, but it is Allen to Davis on 2nd and 12 against the 49ers. It is known. We all said that this was one of his best throws.
Against the 49ers?
Against the 49ers, yep. That throw right over the top of the linebacker's hands. It's a bullet.
Yeah, it's the Fred Warner where it's...
The Fred Warner's reaching for it. It's like if Fred Warner doesn't clip his fingernails that day, he might get a finger on the ball.
And Fred Warner's right on like Cole Beasley right there too. Like Cole Beasley watches the ball go over his head.
Yep, and Diggs is doing the post route in front of the underneath route, which was Cole Beasley's that primetime game that we lit him up on. But that was an outstanding throw. But that's only an honorable mention because Josh Allen has so many top plays. Okay.
All right.
Josh Allen, top 5 plays of his career as of November 19th, 2024. Number 5, this throw, Allen to Latavius Murray on 3rd and 9 against the Chiefs last year, falling out of bounds, leaning backwards, lobs it up right into the breadbasket. Latavius Murray makes the play, converts the first down. Bills go on to win in a must-win game to keep their season alive. People forget that, right?
Right.
It's
crunch time. So contextually, you took context into account in this top 5, right?
I did. Okay. That was number 5. Number 4, Josh Allen hurdling Anthony Barr, right? First start, it is 3rd and 12. He converts it, leads the Bills to an outstanding win that game. You have to include this play on any sort of top 5 ever. We had not seen a quarterback do this really since John Elway helicopters into the end zone, and that wasn't even a hurdle. Like, it was just a poor man's hurdle. This is Josh Allen doing it. So
that was 4. An effort. I'm getting concussed jump.
But we got a ring. We got 2 rings, where John Elway says. So
right.
Okay, number 3. There goes my hero. Josh Allen run 4th and 2 against the Kansas City Chiefs to set the game on ice to knock off an undefeated Kansas City Chiefs team at home in Buffalo. MVP chants rain through the stadium after this iconic iconic play. Amazing. We just saw it. You know what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Okay.
What do you got for number 2, Dave Grohl?
Number 2, we have the 53-yard touchdown run in a playoff game against the Steelers.
Game, yeah.
Right? A very, very much the fake slide, the little stutter step. Everybody froze. He's going this way now. So they put the Bills up 21-0 in that game, really closed the door for them to move on to the next round. And number 1, this is all up for debate. You guys can
I guess? Or no, I'm sorry. I don't want to ruin your role.
No, you might know what I'm going to say here. So I was very thankful for this play to happen because it happened on Thanksgiving in Detroit.
About the
Stephon Diggs?
Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs over the middle in almost triple coverage. There's a very tiny window. 23 seconds remaining. That completion leads to a Tyler Bass game-winning field goal on Thanksgiving against the Lions.
Interesting.
I like it. What's that play that he made on like 4th and 11 in the 13 seconds game?
The run?
No, I think he was rolling right or something like that. And there was one, he was about to get sacked and he ended up rolling right.
John, you just listed about 700 Josh Allen plays.
Right. He rolls right. And we're like, all right, touchdown, first down.
The montage that I watched of him was all these rolling right. There's so many good ones. The Khalil Shakir touchdown against the Chiefs in the playoff game last year was another good one.
Yep.
There's so many like that where there's a Houston one early in the season. The Bills are 2-1. Houston's 1-2, where he has 2 defenders on him. He rolls right and does the same thing. Sideline toe tapping, touch, completion for like 30 yards. There's the Gabe Davis toe touch catch against the Colts in the playoffs.
Yeah, there was like 2 of them almost in that game.
Back to back.
There was 2 toe touches. There's also, we forget about it because of the Hail Murray, but the pass that preceded that to Diggs.
That was to Diggs in the corner. There's another one to Knox as a game winner against the Chiefs. That one was great. Again, this was really difficult. I wanted to take context into these plays. Again, game winning throws, 3rd down plays against the Chiefs, the Ty Johnson play.
When you said Thanksgiving, I was thinking of the iconic Cowboys game where Josh fumbles the snap on the quarterback sneak, and then
at that point in his career, that might have been number 1, and now it's like number 40. So
40? I think that's got to be top 30.
Look at all his runs that he's had that are just insane. He has so many.
There's so many. He has multiple hurdles to put the Chiefs on ice.
Yeah.
Like, right? Yeah. You guys remember last year or 2 years ago, it was like 3rd and something, and he jumped over, not McDuffie. Who did he jump over?
Charvarius Ward?
Justin Reed.
Justin Reed, thank you. Jumped over Justin Reed and converted that as well.
True. Even that Jets game, he had a nasty read option to win it.
There's so many.
You didn't include the one where he fumbled the ball. And then
the Dolphins one?
For a first down. No, and the Seahawks this year.
Patrick
Mahomes has never kicked the ball for a first down. I'm just saying.
Hey, that's a baller rugby move right there. He's a multi-sport athlete. There's so many. I like the list gets updated every week too. We get 2 or 3 of these plays. I think like the Ray Davis catch this year, where Josh is rolling right and just heaves it to Ray Davis across the field.
Man, that's just pitching and catching. That's like no toe taps.
How about touchdown Jesus? Like, how about that throw in Denver in the division clinching game? Pat loves that game.
I love that game. Kumros to go.
Yeah. There's another one in that Denver game. It's a streak down the sideline to Diggs. There's another bomb. Great throw.
What about Gabe Davis, 98 yards?
Yeah, either one of those catches.
Or any of Gabe Davis's touchdowns in 13 seconds were like, I mean, those would be such iconic plays if the last like little bit hadn't counted in that game. Like, I just want to go back and live those moments before my soul was crushed for the next 3 years. But I think that's why this Kansas City victories, they always feel so good. Even though I know it's just a regular season game. I know we've beat them 3 times in a row in the regular season. And we're 1-4 against them in the playoffs, or 1-3, or I'm sorry, 0-3 in the playoffs, 4-1 against them in the regular season. So the series is tied 4-4. But you just gotta love it when you get them, So we'll see if we meet them in the postseason. I've always thought that it would be, this might be the postseason where we don't meet them in the postseason if they're lucky enough to get a little first round exit. But again, that doesn't happen if they are the 1 seed this year. So. One team that they are playing coming up is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are quote unquote in the race for the 1 seed. But I don't know if there's anything that Steelers could do for me to take them seriously Is there anything that we can do to like for the Steelers to be taken seriously at this point? Just
beat the Ravens at home.
I think they did that right without scoring a touchdown, right? Well, they kicked 5 field goals or something like that. So I don't know. Maybe they beat the Chiefs.
As soon as TJ Watt puts on a helmet on defense, you take him seriously.
That's true. That's true. And as soon as he gets injured, then it's
game on,
lights out for everybody, or for the Steelers, that is. But,
well, they were talking about this on WGR, where this is a game that Sean McDermott, proved himself to everybody else in the league. Like, I'm aggressive. I'm going to do this. Whereas Mike Tomlin would have kicked that field goal and be like, I got a good defense, and then lose in the playoffs, right?
That's right.
Well, he did. He didn't make that mistake enough times to have a ring, though. So I'm not going to slander him.
I mean, lately, as of the last 10 years, Mike Tomlin hasn't. His team has not been close enough in a playoff game for decisions to matter. Unfortunately, like I think they've gotten blown out in the first round of the playoffs. How many years now? Something like that.
Times.
10 years they haven't won a playoff game.
Yeah. So it's been a second for them. So again. It's not like the glass house season where they were. Do you remember when they were like 10-0 or 11-0? And we were all like, this team stinks. I don't know if we feel the same way about Kansas City fully there, but yeah, it's something like that. Anyway, do you guys want to roll some game picks here?
Actually, can we say one more thing really quick?
Sure.
We're talking about, can I give you my trivia before you game picks?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about your trivia.
No, you're good. You're good. We're talking about.
I apologize.
MVP. Josh Allen's not the third. He's not the second. He's the best quarterback in the league now, right? We're looking at the odds for MVP, and Allen's first now. And I looked into this MVP race and just the MVP award as a whole. So here's a little trivia for you. So in the last 15 seasons in the NFL, 15 MVP winners, only 3 of them won it one time. So
three multiple winners.
Yep, 3 non-multiple MVP winners in the last 15 years in the NFL. Can you name them?
Okay, so like for example, Lamar Jackson's won it twice. Aaron Rodgers has won it a couple times. Patrick Mahomes.
The only 3 active players right now in the NFL that have it are the 3 you just listed. Rodgers has 4, Mahomes has 2, Jackson has 2.
All right, so guys to only win it once.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan won it once.
Matt Ryan was once. Breeze was once.
Drew Brees did not win an MVP.
Oh, that's right. He was like offensive player of the year.
Matt Stafford?
Matt Stafford did not win MVP.
Okay, so just got that one with Matty Ice.
Last 15 years?
15 years.
Tom Brady?
2009. Nope, Tom Brady
Sleeper
won it many times.
Okay. Because I feel like, did Peyton Manning win it twice?
Peyton Manning won it multiple times.
Okay.
He won it with
Cam
the
Newton?
Broncos. Cam Newton is on this list. He is a one-time winner, and the Roethlisberger never won an MVP as well because Brady and Manning were too busy winning them.
Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson did not win MVP.
Deshaun Watson, maybe?
Deshaun Watson did not win MVP.
Should have that 4-12 season.
Well, I think about that when these guys are talking about how great Burrow is in our comments. I'm like, Deshaun Watson threw for 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns and 10 picks, and there's crickets about him. So.
Garbage time works wonders, baby, for stats. If you just want to argue about yards,
we're missing one name.
It's got to be something obscure enough that we're not thinking.
It is obscure.
It's not like Derek Carr or someone.
I cannot answer your question there, John.
When was the last time we had a non-quarterback MVP?
It's this guy.
Oh,
wait. It's AP, Adrian Peterson.
Yes, Adrian Peterson.
There we go.
So that's the trivia. Good job. I thought it was crazy though. Like 15 years only, it just has been spread out between these 5 elite guys: Manning, Brady, Mahomes, Rodgers, Jackson, and then you filter in Matt Ryan. Like, who doesn't belong here, right?
What was the streak where the AFC Championship game included either Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, or Ben Roethlisberger? Wasn't it like 15 years?
Well, Joe Flacco got in there too.
Oh, Don't forget about
him. Flacco.
Well, no, like he obviously won, but like as a participant in the AFC Championship game, it was always either Brady, Roethlisberger, or.
Roethlisberger didn't even make that many. It was just
he was the fill in the blank guy.
Yeah.
But
anyways, good job.
Sweet. All right. How are we looking on game picks, Brando?
Well, after this past week, we are looking mediocre because I went 3-3, John went 3-3, and Pat went 2-4. So that is the definition of mediocre. We are not 500 teams. We are close to 500 though. John's still winning, or no, I'm so sorry. Pat's still winning.
How dare you?
So sorry. So sorry, Pat. I'm so sorry. Pat's up a game. I'm down 2 games from John, 3 games from Pat. So we are looking at this next week of games. Not a great slate of games, at least from a Bills fan perspective. So our first game in game picks this week, it's the AFC matchup that I find this going to be one of the more interesting games of the year. Who am I? Of the week. New England at Miami. Miami is a 7-point favorite. And I'm going to start by taking the points and New England and Drake May. Drake May's metrics are awesome, and he's Josh Allen light right now. He's more Josh Allen than Will Levis is. So,
well, that's not saying very much. I'm going to go Miami here. I feel like they should blow out this team, but again, New England plays close and dirty games, so I don't know. Maybe you're right, Brando, but I'm going to stick with Miami because that's what I have written down. I'm not going to go back on that. But Pat, what do you think?
Yeah, I got to go with the Dolphins. They're on a little bit of a roll right now.
And I feel better about my pick now because I'm picking with Pat, who's leading here. So, but
John, where are my Cheez-Its? Where are my Cheez-Its at? I'm going to be picking. I'm going New England with the points. I just think divisional games are always close. So I still think Miami could win the game, but I bet you it'll be closer than we think.
Yeah, that's usually how those divisional games go, right? I mean, not so much as the AFC North, where every single game is decided by, throwing stones and 2 points. But I'm gonna write down your picks for you here, John, so we can keep track of you and the celebrity picks on the spreadsheet.
All right, we talk about these Detroit games. I already gave you one lock of the year: Detroit money line against the Houston Texans. Or did I say points? They lost a half point.
You said point. They did lose on the half point hook. So.
I bet the money line, but with the
Brandon is 0-1 on locks of the year.
So. No, the Cleveland game. Do you remember? I was like, "This is the bet of the year," or whatever.
All right. Well, 1-1.
Anyways, 1-1 is fine. So we are looking at Detroit going to Indianapolis. Detroit's minus 7-point favorite. I feel like if you just score 52 points and you are an unmovable object destroying everybody in your path, you might be favored by more than 7. So anybody not taking Detroit on this panel?
Speak now or forever hold your truth.
Rawr, go Lions.
Detroit across the board.
Yep. Okay. A rematch of last year's NFC playoffs. San Francisco is going into Lambeau Field. They are minus 2.5-point favorites. Pat, start us off here, buddy.
I gotta go with the Niners. I'm feeling them. Coming off a tough one last week, should be a good game.
Pat, you're definitely playing RuneScape right now.
I'm not. I'm reading the game picks. Reading the game picks.
I was like, you seem to be enamored with whatever you're clicking on. Like,
no,
is he cutting down a tree right now?
No,
Pat could play RuneScape through this entire thing and he'd still kick Brandon in my butt at game picks. So, oh my God.
I'm gonna go Niners. I'm rolling Niners. I don't think Green Bay's that good. I do like Jordan Love. I think he's a good quarterback, but I think give me the Niners.
I'm going to take Green Bay. I'm going to take the home team here. I feel like San Francisco really should, on paper, be a better team than Green Bay. But San Fran's just got some weirdness going on this year. They're back to 500 now, aren't they? Yeah. Or are they 500 or sub 500? So I don't want to say their season is lost because they're still a good team that can get hot. But the Super Bowl hangover is real for sure. So I'm going to go Green Bay.
Now, if you watched any of this game, the Niners in their first portion of the game, they were playing very well, especially defensively. And it kind of reminds me of the Steelers a little bit with TJ Watt, because when Nick Bosa went out with his oblique injury, everything kind of fell apart for them. And Nick Bosa looks like he might be missing this game. So because of that, I'm going to take Green Bay.
Nice. Good intel. I did not do that much research before this.
So hopefully we make up a game there. Now we are going to go to LA, the Rams here. The Eagles are coming in to the Rams as 3-point favorites here. in the away stadium, which doesn't really matter because you're in LA.
The Eagles are doing what to the Rams?
The Eagles are going to the Rams' home stadium, which does not often be a big home field advantage. So to have 3 points here is interesting.
Right. Well, also, I like how you said LA, like LA. Like LA, people say LA. I'll take Philly. I'm just picking favorites this week, I guess, but I think Philly's better. The Rams, I want to root for the Rams. I really like their squad, their roster. They've got really exciting receivers, but they didn't get the job done last week, and Philly seems to be hitting their stride this year at this point. So
Sirianni's going to do something stupid. Sean McVay is better than Nick Sirianni. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford. I'm not picking against them. Give me the Rams and the points.
All right, I like it. All right.
Yeah, well, Nick Sirianni, local guy. Got to give him the benefit of the doubt. I like the Eagles. I'm going to go with Danny DeVito and Patty's Pub for it's going to be very sunny in Philadelphia while they play this game in sunny Los Angeles. Give me the Eagles.
That's Brando's favorite character in Always Sunny, Tommy DeVito, right?
Tommy DeVito, yeah. I hear Danny DeVito's pretty good too.
As the Jets quarterback, you mean? Or the Giants quarterback? Giants.
Yeah.
So yeah,
the other New Jersey team.
Right. Yeah, one of them. John, what do you think?
In the words of Brando, this is the game pick of the year. It's a lock of the month for me, lock of the decade. Philly over Los Angeles.
Really?
Let's book it. Put the mortgage on it. I probably regret this. This is not gambling advice, but
no financial advice on this show is ever given.
Hashtag not financial advice is our show French, or is our show hashtag. So
I just think Los Angeles isn't good. I do know they've got Puka back. They've got some players back, but I think Philly's going to fly. Fly, Eagles, fly.
I love it. I wish we had the Falcons on here too. We get you doing the Dirty Bird dance.
Another poorly run franchise, the Las Vegas Raiders. Speak now if anybody wants the Raiders. Going once, going twice. No. Bo Nix, baby. The super senior in college is showing that he had the highest floor coming into the NFL. I think he carries the job, and the defense is going to smoke the Raiders. So
yeah, that's probably accurate.
Yep. So our final game, prime time, big playoff implications here for the Bills too. The Baltimore Ravens are coming to LA again. We're talking about LA. LA's hosting 2 games this weekend. That's interesting. Different days, obviously. Baltimore
is this Monday? Is this Monday Night Football?
Monday Night Football.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So Baltimore is a 3-point favorite going into LA to play the Chargers, coming off quite a good win.
Yeah,
I think
against the Bengals.
Yeah.
I'll take Baltimore only because a team that good shouldn't lose twice. I know they have lost a lot of games already this year. They started 0-2, but I mean, you got Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Like, you shouldn't be losing twice at all. I know their passing defense gives up a lot, but I don't think the Chargers are going to be so potent on offense that really matters too much. Although the Steelers showed that you don't really need to be potent on offense to beat the Ravens. So,
John, I got to follow you up on this because all the metrics for the Chargers show that they are very good on offense. They are throwing the ball very, very more. Much more now with Herbert being healthy. Lad McConkey is a top 20 receiver in the NFL right now. And J.K. Dobbins is a top running back in the NFL right now.
Is top 20 elite?
Also, I think this was the first time that the Chargers scored more than 30 points all season.
So there's that. But everyone can put up yards against the Ravens except for the Bills, hilariously enough. So, yeah.
I'm taking the points. I'm taking the Chargers. Justin Herbert, knock off these Ravens a little bit for me.
Yeah. That's probably a good pick. Honestly, like the Baltimore passing defense is still giving up the most passing yards in the NFL. I think they're literally dead last, like 32nd last I checked. So
hey, you already locked it in for the Ravens, man. I'm trying to catch you. So.
I know. It's all right. Pat, who you got?
I have
a tree to cut down.
No. Luca's. I gotta go.
You gotta split out here soon.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Ravens though. You don't lose by letting up 6 field goals in a game and not come back at least a little bit stronger.
Yeah. All right, Pat, you gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, John. It was super nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, good meeting you, Pat.
You're all set.
See you, buddy.
See you, man.
Give me the Ravens. Give me the Ravens on that one. I think they're too good to lose to the Chargers. I just think the Chargers almost choked it to the Bengals last week. I think they're due for. You're right, almost, but I think they're due to lose.
Yeah, we'll see, Brando. We'll see. I like Baltimore in this one. I'm not calling it the lock of the century, but I like the Baltimore money line there. So I have one more thing to share before we hop off of here. I got an email this past week from a listener in Ireland, which is really cool in and of itself. But he was coming to he emailed to rib me that. So Brandon, you remember when we were talking about the refs in Germany, Sean Hockley announcing calls in German, and then we made the joke about Ireland, and I was being super snarky, and I was like, well, they probably will say it in the native language, implying that it was English, which is of course incorrect. I think I tried to correct myself and say Gaelic, but I think I cut that out because Pat was swearing over it, and I didn't want to put a bleep in or something like that. But anyway, I owe Ireland an apology because of course the native language of Ireland is not English. It is in English, it's called Gaelic, but in Irish it is Gaelic. I think it's different in different parts of Ireland. Super cool shout out to Donal, who reached out. Great back and forth. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
He said he looks forward to Josh Allen hoisting the Lombardi in Ireland next year and filling it up with Guinness. And I was just in Ireland this past year, so I replied back. I was like, yeah, they can fill it with Guinness or they can fill it with Beamish, which I like better. And he's like, yes. He's like, Beamish is better. If you ever go to Ireland, Beamish is better than Guinness. Just a pro tip for you people traveling to Ireland. But
it's on my list of places to go, man. Cool. Listeners from all over the world, man. Yeah. Love to hear that.
But thank you, Donal. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name a little bit incorrectly. I looked up the pronunciation. I watched videos, and I know I'm still gonna mess it up. I really tried, though. So yeah, really cool. Awesome to get an email from a listener in Ireland. So yeah, that's all I got for this week. You guys got anything else?
Go Bills, baby. Enjoy your bye week.
Go Bills.
Yeah. Go Bills.